going on in that area. So,
speaking of the cease and desist, did you hear what Meltzer said this week about the video game?
yes, they had asked them to do
The motion capturing the day after they gave him the cease and desist because the Young Bucks moveset was downloaded more than anybody's last year in the video game or something. So, man, it's such a wild world. Like, pro wrestling is truly like nothing else. I mean, one day you give a guy a cease and desist, and the next day you're offering them money. So, that being said, I mean, if Jimmy Jacobs leaves and he's gone, so now you've lost Jimmy Jacobs, you've lost Neville. Back-to-back weeks. How quickly until they're the new members of the Bullet Club? That's my question. Jimmy Jacobs does have a pretty badass shirt that came out that says unprofessional. And it's a picture of him with the Young Bucks and Marty Scurll. So, ProWrestlingTees.com/Jimmy Jacobs. He's giving me some money, right? He'll definitely...
That might be a different Jimmy Jacobs. I don't know if it's this one.
Is he the one from Canarsie?
Yeah.
Oh. And yeah, it's definitely not him.
Okay.
It's definitely not him. You know what? Let's go... there was a lot of wrestling this week, but I want to talk about this new segment, Swerve of the Week. This week's Swerve of the Week, Sami Zayn turning heel. That's a big congratulations to Sami Zayn, because man, did he need that. The main event of Hell in the Cell... That was it, right?
Yep.
Nice. I've been saying No Mercy for like a week. Main event of Hell in the Cell last Sunday. Kevin Owens versus Shane McMahon in a 40-minute Terry Funk Ric Flair classic. I'm just kidding. It was just they beat the hell out of each other, and it was a really good match for what it was. Shane almost dying several times, but the meat and potatoes of it was Shane goes up to the top of the cell to drop the elbow like he always does. And out of nowhere, Sami Zayn saves Kevin Owens. Kevin Owens didn't see it coming. Afterwards, Sami Zayn lays Kevin Owens on top of Shane McMahon. So Owens beats McMahon 1-2-3, and we have a new faction, a new heel stable in the looks like forming. And Sami Zayn cut a really good promo on SmackDown. Did you see a SmackDown promo?
I did.
What'd you think of it?
I mean, I thought it was good for what it was.
Okay. Okay.
I thought he explained himself well enough. At least it made sense.
Yeah.
That's really all I ask, I guess, with those types of things.
I was kind of worried because Sami Zayn, not really known to be a talker. He was the masked luchador known as El Generico. He did not have to talk. So coming to WWE, talking was not going to be his strong suit. And I thought this is probably the best promo that I've ever seen him cut. I thought... because they gave him more than 30 seconds, but his delivery was good. Like you said, it made sense from a point of view of why he did it. And do you think this is going to lead to an eventual match between the two again?
Between Owens and
Zayn, yeah.
I mean, I'm sure they're going to split up eventually again. I mean, I don't know. The only thing I read in the short term was that they were talking about it maybe setting up Owens and Zayn against Shane and AJ Styles. I don't know.
Oh, come on!
What's the matter with
bullshit? That? Are you serious?
I read that. I mean, I don't know that's true or not.
Why does Shane need to wrestle?
Well, where else would it be going?
Anywhere but Shane McMahon.
He turned, right, and cost Shane the match and almost basically caused him to,
die.
Kill himself.
Yeah.
So I would imagine that the first step in the program is going to be... Shane's probably going to be off TV for a little bit.
Good.
Selling the injuries from the fall. And then maybe they'll, do a tag match. Styles is probably moving away from Corbin, it seems like. So that's probably going to be over soon if it's not over already. And he's going to need something to do. Now, people have speculated that he should go up and fight Jinder Mahal because now he's no longer a champion and Mahal needs a new opponent. I don't really know what to do with all that. So
I don't even know what's going on with the main event picture. I mean, I'm sorry, with the title picture, but...
Yeah, I think Cena is supposed to be back, I don't know, later this year. I don't really know what the situation is. I guess it seems like they're more booking around things that are not the weekly TV show anymore. Like, they want to have the title on Jinder Mahal for when they tour India.
In December, right?
So, yeah, so they're just going to leave it there, or if he drops it, he'll win it right back or something. Like, that was,
I thought he was going to drop it to Nakamura.
Yeah, I think some people thought that would happen because, I think at one point the advertising for the India tour said 2-time WWE champion Jinder Mahal, so there was like some thought that he would have dropped it and won it back. That hasn't happened yet.
That was probably just a error in translation. I have trouble too a lot.
Okay,
with the translation.
Sure. Yeah, so. A lot of people do. I think that's fair.
Speaking of, we'd like to say, never mind. What was the name of the arms? What was it?
The arms.
The holiday.
This is borderline racist, I feel like. You're talking about the holiday of Diwali for the Indian, the Hindu culture. And they're celebrating that at my company 2 weeks out, I think.
I'm pumped.
No, you should be. There's a lot of good food. It's a culture. It's a lot of. It's a themed event. There's decorations. I don't know. This is a shoot. I don't know why you're laughing. This is exactly. I did this I was a part of this last year, and this year they're doing it again. Diwali.
How did you participate?
What? How did I participate? I ate some of the food that they had. That was it. That was my participation.
I'm sorry, you ate the food?
Some of the food.
Like what?
There was a rice dish that I ate.
It was a dish of rice.
Well, it wasn't in a dish. It was I mean, when I say dish, I mean, like somebody made rice at whatever recipe.
So everybody from your company makes food for this?
No, I think the folks from our...
The Diwalians?
That's not a thing. That's made up. The folks that celebrate Diwali made food, and then we ate it during the business time. You know what? Can we just get back to the wrestling, please?
As we were saying in regards to the main event title picture, now you have a guy like Nakamura who just lost back-to-back to Jinder, and this one was relatively clean. There was a little bit of the outside chicanery, but for the most part, what was it? Nakamura hit the post, and then Jinder hit
the Colossus. Is that what the finish was called?
Yeah, he hit the Colossus, and that was it. 1, 2, 3, and now you have. What do you do with Nakamura? Does he just hang it? Why did my voice get so high?
It sounds like you're concerned.
Nakamura. Yeah. I mean, do you? He's out of. I don't want to say he's out of the title picture, but you saw him get a win over Aiden English in a tag match on SmackDown the next night or 2 nights after. Him and Randy Orton versus Aiden English and Rusev. That's a rough fall from grace. You're wrestling, Jinder Mahal for the title, and you're wrestling Aiden English. I don't know. I mean, I think everybody thought the money was on Nakamura to win, but maybe he goes after Baron Corbin. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah, I could see that. I mean, I don't know what they're doing with some of these secondary feuds. If this Orton-Rusev program is going to continue, if that's going to end, then maybe where you could switch it up with guys in that, you could have Nakamura against Rusev, you could have Nakamura against Corbin, you can have Orton against Corbin. I don't know. Owens and Zayn are now heels. If Shane is not around, they're going to need a program. So you could do Nakamura and Owens, or Orton and Owens. You can do things like that.
Nakamura and Zayn would be good because they wrestled once or twice. They wrestled on NXT.
They wrestled on NXT. I don't.
It's like they wrestled on SmackDown at some point.
They might have. I'd have to go back and look into that. I don't remember.
That would be an interesting program too. But there's a lot of really good booking on SmackDown. There's a lot of really questionable booking. Like personally, I love what the Usos are doing. Big fan of the Usos now. We got to talk about the Gable and Shelton Benjamin. I mean, this is it's almost like Gable doesn't know that his partner changed. It's like all the same moves. Everything's the same. They're a carbon copy of the world's greatest tag team. I don't know. It's like Gable has no identity. He's like the guy that when you play WWE 2K17 and they give you the guy to mold. That's Chad Gable. I like Chad Gable. I think he's good in the ring. But man, he just leeches on to whatever his partner's about, huh?
I don't know, man. He was. Then they pretty much told him right? If I remember correctly, like Daniel Bryan basically said, "Oh yeah, by the way, we signed Shelton Benjamin, and he's going to be your new tag partner." That's pretty much how I think. Went down.
You're right. That's how.
I don't know that he had much of a choice. It sounded like he was like, "This is going to be your tag team partner." I just assumed when they did that Benjamin was going to turn on him at some point, and then he would have a singles feud that way because they should probably start going down the path of using Cable as a singles performer. But they've stayed together as a team for a little while, and if I'm not mistaken, they won a tag title shot on SmackDown this past week.
And they have matching trunks.
So
That's really the most important part. Once you get trunks that match, you're in for the long haul.
That's right.
We have matching All Night Long Wrestling podcast t-shirts.
We do.
But as far as them being in a singles, how much do you think Gable weighs?
220.
You think he weighs that much?
I don't know. I mean, do you know what his build weight is?
No, I want to take a look at it because I'm wondering if he could be a 205 guy.
No, well, I hope not.
Well, it would give him. I don't know. I like Chad Gable a lot, but I just feel like he's a carbon copy of. I don't know. It just seems like they really don't know what to do with him, and he seems like a great tag team wrestler. But when he had a couple of really good singles matches, right?
He did.
He had who did he wrestle? He wrestled Owens.
He wrestled Owen once. He wrestled Styles once. I forget who else he may have had some matches against on SmackDown that were pretty, good to above average. Rusev, I think.
Yep, wrestled Rusev. If this would let me. He's billed at 5'8", 202.
5'8", 202. Okay.
And that's what he's billed at, so he's probably even smaller. So, I mean, he could definitely be a 205 Live guy at that point.
Good.
If Tony Nese can make 205 Live...
Kiss his career goodbye.
Yeah, he's like 242 Live.
You know who else is a 205 Live guy? Aleister Black.
Aleister... What?
I think he weighs 205.
Aleister... Isn't he like 6'5"?
There was a point where he was billed at 205 pounds.
Really?
I don't know if that's what he's billed at any longer, but he was at one point billed as 205 pounds because they suspected that he was going to show up on 205 Live at some point, and that's why they were doing that.
Aleister Black is billed 6'2", 205. I thought he was way taller than 6 foot, though.
You would think by looking at him. In fact, my friend, you're looking at a future cruiserweight champion, Aleister Black.
What year do you think he debuted?
Ever?
Yeah.
How old is he? 30?
32.
32? So he probably debuted in like 04 or something?
02.
02?
That makes him... He debuted when he was 16.
Yeah.
God, he's so good. I don't believe he's 6 foot. He's at least... He stands almost eye to eye with Chris Hero. Damn these cameras. You think they could make me pretty?
I don't know how to answer that.
You could just say no. Everybody else does. So, I really kind of thought Breezango was going to be getting the title shot, though. Speaking of SmackDown.
I think a lot of people did.
I thought that was the money. What do you think about the Brothers of the Bulge? Right?
What? The Bludgeon Brothers? Is that what it's called? Something like that?
The Brothers of the Bulge in the crotch. Crotch bulges. Bulge crotch. Big old bulge. What do you think about their repackaging of Harper and Rowan?
I don't know, man. I mean, these guys are just like... I mean, it's good. I like those. I mean, I like Harper. I don't know how good of a worker Rowan is, but I like Harper. I'm all for altering guys' gimmicks and repackaging them. They don't seem to do enough of that these days, in my opinion. They used to do it all the time back in like the 80s and 90s. And even like the 2000s early, where like when Russo was in there, like they would take guys that they had and maybe weren't working under a certain gimmick and change it into something else. And now I don't feel like they do that as much anymore. So I'm all for if they have Harper and Rowan on the roster and they think that they are guys that they can do something with and they give them a different gimmick to see if it'll work as a tag team, I'm all for it then. I'll give it a try. If it's stupid or it doesn't work out, then split them up or release one of them or whatever it is. That's fine. And that's one of the things about the business, or at least WWE, that bothers me more now than it did when we were younger. Guys were not in the company for like 15, 20 years. Like they have guys that are there that they don't even like do anything with, and they're there. Like
Kane, Big Show, Mark Henry.
Yeah, like all those guys are there so long. You got to recycle guys in and out, or at least have them change their gimmicks, because otherwise it's just ridiculously stale.
Drew Galloway is a perfect example of that. a guy that left, kind of found himself, found what worked for him, and came back.
Yeah, there's just, when you have a guy under contract for a while, you have to, just tweak or alter him. And that's, I think Jericho talks about that all